Simply don't have the high profile that a presidential campaign brings with it.
Candidates are making their final push ahead of tomorrow's primary, but it might not mean big numbers at the polls. We'll tell you why.
The secret recipe at this popular Peoria eatery can be yours for a price. Find out what's happening to emos coming up.
And the economy is forcing many agencies to downsize, but not this Central Illinois charity. It's trying to expand and needs your help to do it.
Taking action for you. This is WMBD 31 News at 6.
Primary elections are tomorrow, and candidates are racing around the state trying to capture your vote. Good evening, I'm Bob Larson.
And I'm Meg Marshall. Despite their efforts, experts predict a slow day at the polls. WMBD's Sarah Barwatch joins us now with more. Sarah, what are those officials saying?
Well, Meg, Peoria's Election Commission says the first sign of slow voter turnout was seen in early voting. Even those numbers were down a percentage point. In an attempt to win every last vote, candidates for the governor's primary came into the area in droves. But if you head around town, you'll find voters that are checked out. Talk to me about the governor's race. Can you name all the candidates?
No, I cannot. I don't think I can name one guy, I don't think.
Do you plan to vote?
Probably not. I'm not knowledgeable enough at this point to vote. I plan on doing some more additional research.
Tom Bride, the president of Peoria's Election Commission, expects less than 20% of voters will head to the polls. Bride says an earlier primary may be to blame.
Because it was moved to February as opposed to in March, and then I think that hurt it, and then also the weather in January. I mean, we did have some very cold days and some snow during early voting.
Pre-election polls show voter indecisiveness. Political experts say that's because people don't like declaring a party, and many consider themselves independent.
Even if they are registered with a party, they have moved more to the independent side, and therefore, by definition, they're not as solid on for whom they vote, since there is no independent party primary.
But if you're looking for a crystal ball, check a candidate's treasure chest. Political science professor Griff Hathaway says candidates with more money tend to win.
Money tends to lead into electoral successes because people believe the people who have raised the most money are going to be the most successful candidates.
To vote in the primary, you do have to declare a political party, which is saved as public record. Polls open tomorrow at 6 in the morning and close at 7 in the evening, Meg.
Well, one of the most anticipated races in Peoria County is the showdown between current Sheriff Mike McCoy and his challenger, Peoria Police Lieutenant Vince Wieland. Both men boast long records of protecting the citizens of Central Illinois. We sat down with the candidates to find out more.
I bring a fresh perspective.
Peoria Police Lieutenant Vince Wieland says he was inspired to take his love of law enforcement to the next level after witnessing what he calls failures by the current administration.
There have been a number of reoccurring failures that have been with the Peoria County Sheriff's Office, and these reoccurring failures have jeopardized public safety.
Sheriff Mike McCoy says public safety has always been his chief concern during his 8 years at the helm of Peoria County's department. During that time, McCoy says the crime rate in the county has dropped 34%.
Good leaders can't project everything in the future, but good leaders can have plans for what happens. That's what we had.
One of the biggest shadows hanging over the sheriff's campaign is this past November's jailbreak, when 2 inmates escaped and evaded authorities for 2 days before they were captured and returned.
The jailbreak took over a year for 2 individuals to cut a hole in the ceiling of a jail cell and chisel their way out through cement block. Over 1 year, and nobody recognized the potential there or saw what was going on.
We made 21 changes in how we do things in the jail after a complete review. And so then what we did is we've implemented those 21 changes and made the place a lot safer.
You have to be on top of the game and have somewhat of a vision and foresee problems before they happen. So I plan on being proactive rather than reactive.
They know my record of integrity. They know that my record of accepting responsibility and making changes to the positive, and the leadership that I've had for a good group of people that have made the sheriff's office very positive in the last 8 years.
Now, of course, the best way to learn about these primary candidates is on our website, ciproud.com. We've asked each candidate the same set of primary questions, and we're posting their answers on this page. Just go to ciproud.com and click on primary questions under the news menu. And make sure you stay with us all day tomorrow as we bring you election results throughout the day and evening.
Of course, big question now is what kind of weather can we expect as voters head to the polls tomorrow?
Hopefully not a snowy forecast. Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bailey is in the 3D Live Weather Center with a first look at your forecast. Marcus, not too much snow, right?
Not too much, that's right. It is going to be a little bit of snow, but don't let that scare you away from going to the polls. It should be just fine. We're looking at maybe just a dusting now. To the northern portion of the state, it may be troublesome, but here in central Illinois, not bad. Uptown normal, the clouds have rolled in, the sun has set, and we're in for a fairly quiet couple of hours before the snow starts to roll in into the Twin Cities. Same thing for the River City as well, but you can see the blue here on X-Vision starting to fill in, especially now in the northwestern portions of Peoria County, Knox County, McDonough County, even portions of Fulton County. You're already starting to see some of that snow flying around. So we'll keep the snow in the forecast for late night tonight, early morning tomorrow, and then tapering off by midday. By the afternoon, if you're going to be doing some late afternoon election, you should be fine with temperatures into the mid-30s. We'll have much more on your Election Day forecast and a very dry work week coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, some Pontiac residents want a local school superintendent out. District 429 Superintendent Steve Graham's leadership is on the agenda of tonight's school board meeting. Residents will vote on a proposed tax increase in tomorrow's election, and some say if it passes, they don't trust Graham to use the money responsibly. The meeting begins at 7 o'clock at Central Elementary in Pontiac, and we'll let you know what happens tonight at 10. A Peoria staple known for its ice cream and coney dogs is up for sale. Emo's Dairy Mart is on the market for $2.4 million. The co-owner, Dave Harms, wants to retire and is ready to give up the property. The sale includes 1 acre of land, the building, and Emo's secret recipe for those coney dogs. Harms' realtor says that he's not in a hurry to sell and he thinks the asking price is fair.
The former Starbucks building on Peoria's Sterling Avenue will soon have a new occupant. U.S. Cellular is opening a store in the shuttered coffee shop. Construction is underway now to expand the building. Starbucks closed the shop last year along with hundreds of others nationwide to help cut costs. A building which powered the former Bartonville State Mental Hospital is slated for demolition. The EPA sealed the powerhouse for asbestos, but during abatement discovered the building was shifting. The village of Bartonville is using tip money to take down the powerhouse over the next 2 weeks. The village mayor hopes someone will purchase the land once the property is cleaned up.
Some developer will come in and want to buy it and put a business up there. That would be fantastic, especially for the economy the way it is.
Well, the mayor wants to see the nearby state hospital renovated. A resident already voiced interest in purchasing the former mental institution and turning it into a museum, hotel, or office space. The economy is forcing many local agencies to cut back, but the effect it's having on a Bloomington organization is a little different.
It's trying to grow, but it needs your help. Find out exactly how you can help coming up.